Yeah, beat your addiction, live free. Ralf Friedrichs is who you see. Listen in when you're feeling low. Take back your life, today's show. Beat your addiction, live free. Ralf Friedrichs is who you see. Listen in when you're feeling low. Take back your life, today's show. Stay positive, hope, and keep faith. Stand strong against any odds that you face. Put away the alcohol and the drugs. Fill your time with the things you love. Addiction is tough, but it's worth the work. Treat your body what it's worth. Spread positivity, inspire all. If we stand together, we will never fall. I help others see the other sides to life. A sober life, letting go of the strife. So give me a call, I can help. 1-844-4405-HELP. Homeless shelters, hospitals, jails, wherever you are. I am Ralf Friedrichs and I am here for you. 1-844-405-HELP. Yeah, change your future, starts today. Live life to the fullest, never skip a day. Create hope, spread positivity. Beat your addictions and negativity. Ralf Friedrichs is here for you. Call today so we can help you. 1-844-405-HELP. 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 We are here for you. Call us today.
Good morning and welcome to Take Your Life Back Today show with me, Ralf Friedrichs. Yesterday was a very emotional day for all Americans, more than likely for everyone in the world, because of the tragedy in Oregon, where once again a shooter goes into a school. In this case it was a college, a community college, and shoots people. Unlike for most other incidents, this shooter seemed as if he had a mission, and the mission it was to single out religions by having everyone lay on the floor, asking them, "Are you a Christian?" If you answered yes, you were shot in the head. If you answered any other religion other than Christianity, you were shot in the legs. Folks, it has become apparent that this happens more and more as time goes on, and I'm a strict believer that a lot of these things, a lot of these folks that have these emotional internal situations or problems show signs prior to doing this. This particular person, and I refuse to give his name because they do exactly what they do so that people talk about him. So I refuse to give his name, although everybody knows his name. But this shooter, this assassin, this murderer showed signs. He showed signs at home, showed signs to his family, showed signs to his friends. But yet no one, for whatever reason, didn't make that call or seek help for this particular person. Like a time bomb, October 1st, 2015, at approximately 10:26 a.m. Oregon West Coast time, this time bomb finally exploded. I want to talk about 8 signs of emotional dysfunction which disturb the inner peace. I want you folks, as well as myself, to be aware of the signs of dysfunctional people, of people around us each and every day that shows some sort of emotional disturbance. To establish and maintain our inner peace, we have no option but to remove emotional dysfunction of inner peace. Even though it's important to productively feel all of our emotions, we can still divide them into 2 categories: virtuous and anti-virtuous feelings. This is because emotions do one of 2 things. They are either good for us, which is right, or bad for us, which is wrong. Therefore, virtuous emotions are positive and beneficial, whereas non-virtuous emotions are the opposite. Now, that's not to say that feeling anger, for example, is always bad for us. In short term, feeling negative emotions is important because we are human, and part of being a human and experience our emotions. Instead of negativity being suppressed, it is the space to breathe and then voluntarily give itself away to fundamental beliefs and more positive feelings. Yet, when we feel these emotions, for longer than short amount of time, it is always going to have detrimental impact on us, on others, which is why they fall into anti-virtuous category. It is a common teaching in our society to behave virtuously to others, although it is debatable on how much this is actually practiced. But what is even more concerning is that so many people treat themselves in an anti-virtuous ways. And if people are treating themselves poorly, then it's no wonder that they treat others the same. The disheartening aspect is good people so often treat others better than they treat themselves. For a while now, I've been asking myself, why is this the case? And it appears that there are at least several answers. Firstly, many of us are not true to ourselves. We hide behind how we treat others, secretly treating ourselves like crap. Sometimes we don't even realize we're doing it, yet even if we do, we don't have the skills, the knowledge, or conviction to behave any differently. Secondly, it's more often taught at home, in school, and throughout society to respect and care for others. Right from birth, we've been getting lessons on how to treat people, but rarely ourselves. Ironically, we're not going to get in trouble for punching ourselves in the face, but we will if we get to do that to another person. Thirdly, the way we treat others is usually reserved for our actions. Yet, how we treat ourselves also means how positively we think and feel. Therefore, it is assumed that behaving virtuously to our fellow man is a lot less work, and therefore it's easy to treat ourselves well. But I disagree. If we have thought and a feeling towards someone that is anti-virtuous, but acts virtuously, then we're being hypocritical because we're not truly being virtuous. We have all the power to, because the only person who will know what we're thinking and feeling is ourselves. We will appear virtuously, but we're fundamentally not, because thoughts and feelings come first, actions come second. For example, if we think I'm better than this person and feel vanity, but then say to them, "Do you need some help?" then the first two aspects were anti-virtuous, and then the final part was virtuous. So positively treating others is just not what we say or how we act, but also how we think and feel towards them. And the same goes for how we treat ourselves. If we think negatively, feel negatively, but act positively, then we're not being truly virtuous to ourselves. This is the source of emotional dysfunction. If we want properly care for ourselves, then we need to live the way of the V3, that is virtuous thinking, feeling, and action. If we emotionally treat ourselves virtuously, then it naturally follows that we will do the same for everyone else. In today's society, it's scarily common to be physically healthy through committed exercise, and to create a loving family through nurturing our relationships, but then at the same time contradictorily have less regard for the way we internally care for ourselves. We are working in a wrong direction as a society, constantly being stressed, angry, sad, jealous, or an array of other negative mind states is emotional dysfunction. Rationales like, "I've got a short fuse," or "I'm heartbroken," reflect self-destructive behavior. Anything negative that we continually maintain inside of us is inherently self-abuse, therefore possibly abusing others. Yet these states of mind are generally considered normal for people within our society, with little emphasis on damage that these states have on our health and the real cause of this emotional dysfunction. That cause is us. If we lined up 100 people and gave them each exact same experience, we would get 100 different reactions or responses. For example, if each one of us persons were suddenly dumped by their partner of 10 years, they would all deal with it in a different way. Sure, it would be a challenging emotional state to go through, but with different philosophies, beliefs, emotional development, etc., we'll all get different outcomes. One may grieve an extreme heartache for many years, another might grieve for only a week, and another for maybe not only one day. These are the following 8 examples of self-harm. They are anti-virtuous features of individual states of mind. They're also impartial. They can be discovered both in good people and genuinely care about others, who genuinely care about others, or reflect those who are genuinely uncaring and disrespectful towards others and their own people. Ultimately, though, they are dysfunctions of the human psyche which disturb inner peace. Pay attention to these 8 examples of self-harm, because if you have self-harm dysfunctional signs, whether it's with yourself or somebody in your family, situations like the Oregon massacre yesterday could be stopped with picking up on these signs. Unforgiving towards others, sign number 1. When we are resentful towards others, it usually is because they have behaved hurtfully or broken our trust. But anyone who has felt like this, everyone knows how bad it feels. It makes us think and feel negatively. The empowering aspect is, with the right rationale, forgiving is easy. For example, I forgive them because they lack the wisdom and the strength to have treated me better. I also forgive them because if I don't, I continue to hurt myself, which is being just as disrespectful to me as they were. Number 2, easily frustrated with small matters. Hence the term short fuse. If we're easily frustrated, it usually indicates that deep down we are angry or even sad. If we could be holding on to anger or disappointment from our past that we have not let go, in some fundamental way, we have not found peace and ongoing contentment. When life is so short, it's painfully self-destructive to be irritated all the time. It is a stressful experience, and as the old adage goes, stress kills. Literally. So if we fully embrace our present, then we functionally process all of our experience, including the good and the bad. Being irritated all the time is simply a manifestation of dysfunctional mind, which then will also cause those around us to suffer mentally, physically, and worse. Number 3, sadness and depression. A lack of self-esteem and an ongoing self-pity leads to depression. It is a psychologically represented by a chemical imbalance, which is why there are pharmaceutical drugs designed to help realign our chemical needs. Yet, depression is also representative of how we have negatively processed our past and not accepted and embraced it for what it is. The drugs don't help us to do that, which is why they are ineffective in the long term without some form of psychotherapy. Now, this is not to be confused with grief. A natural process of human activity is to grieve over loss of a loved one. Excessive grief, especially if it leads to depression, is when it becomes dysfunctional. Life isn't all wine and chocolate. It's a roller coaster of emotional highs and lows due to varying experiences that we all face. Anxiety prone is number 4. Worrying is one of the most common dysfunctional states in our age. It's more often nurtured or learned behavior. Our parents and the fear of consuming mainstream society have taught us to worry about our future, about our children, about our health. The most irrational aspect of worrying is that if we add up the amount of times we're worried about something, and it actually eventuated in the undesired way, we'd be looking at a very small percentage. Therefore, spending all time is a stressed and anxious state that has simply been self-abuse to ourselves. On top of that, when we're anxious about our future, sometimes we create what we're anxious about in the first place. We send out those negative vibrations and attract them back. It impacts not just us, but also those around us in a negative way too. It's totally unnecessary and unfair to everyone involved. I love the flow chart which simplifies how useless worrying is. It says, do you have a problem in your life? No leads to, well, why worry? Yes leads to, can you do something about it? As you may have guessed, both yes and no lead to, well, why worry? Number 5, always negatively judging others. Huge one. We all make judgments every single day. The whole concept of judging people and life in general has been twisted to no longer make sense. The fact remains that it is perfectly natural to pass judgment. We either make a negative or positive assessment on someone or something, or both at the same time. We also have realistic and unrealistic judgments too. Number 6, another huge one, jealousy behavior. The old saying, jealousy is a curse, is super true. Envy has the ability to evolve into something serious dysfunction of the mind. It also relates closely to how we can negatively or unrealistically judge others. Jealousy is a form of delusion. It comes out in harmful ways such as defaming others behind their back. It's plagued with lies. We might be jealous that we don't have the particular strength of an individual, that we don't have a particular relationship with someone, or that we don't have money or a job that someone else might have. And that might be perfectly natural, yet if we're always feeling this way, it is inherently self-harming because it isn't positive or constructive for ourselves. Dirty gossip is born out of jealousy and negative judgment. They did this or they did that is an unhealthy and unsuccessful way of building up our own self-esteem. And we might take some of this and use it upon others. Number 7, holding on to guilt. Feeling an ongoing guilt over the past mistakes is also emotionally dysfunctional because it is nothing but a negative state of mind. To move past guilt, we need to learn to evolve, not wallow in the shame of regret. We all make mistakes at times more seriously than others. If we all felt guilty all the time, no one would be growing. Guilt is helpful to understand that we've done something wrong, however, as is shame and regret, but we should ensure they're only temporary states of mind and create something more positive and constructive out of them. The aim is to accept, embrace what we did, learn from it, build strategies around how we all never make that same mistake again. Last but not least is 8, always being offended. Some people appear addicted to being offended. Even if we are offended over something that we are justifiably right to defend, why is it that we should put ourselves through the suffering just because of what someone else said or did? Isn't it a reflection of them and not a reflection of us? Of course it is. Just say a person in the street calls us ugly or stupid. We could be offended and upset because of what they've said, or we could understand in the moment that it is a reflection of their lack of empathy, wisdom, compassion, and emotional development. If we invest our feelings in the way others behave, then we are destined to suffer because there are always going to be unthoughtful, undeveloped people in our society. If we blame others for the way we feel, then we are a blamist. For example, it's my parents' fault for what they did when I was a kid, or it's my ex's fault for what they did to me when we broke up. Blaming others for that, for the way that we feel, is disempowering. We effectively give away our power to others. But if we take responsibility for how we think, feel, and behave, we empower ourselves with the responsibility and the freedom to be who we wish to be. The time we become truly free is the time that we take full responsibility of ourselves and ensure that we, not anyone or anything else, are single most influential factor in how we evolve for the rest of our lives. And that's the time we stop being offended. Folks, these are dysfunctional signs of inner peace or disturbed inner peace. Yesterday's shooter, and again I refuse to give his name because that's exactly why they do what they do. It's because their lives have not been noticed by anyone. So by taking other people's lives, they feel that they're going to be talked about. So this shooter, this murderer, this executioner now became famous because of what he did, not because of who he was. He tried the online dating pages or websites, and nobody responded. So this was a person that was looking for all the attention but wasn't getting any. And it all starts at home. All the doctors on TV today agree it starts at home. I am not saying that his parents are at fault of what he did, but I am saying is that if the signs are there, pick up on them as a parent, as a grandparent, as a legal guardian. When somebody is showing signs of some inner dysfunction, seek the help. In conclusion, there are many emotional dysfunctional states that are potentially plague our contentment. Further examples include vanity, sexual obsession, stress, love addiction, living in denial, hell-bent on success, hate-filled, like the person yesterday, and possessive, to name but a few. The reality is if we're living with these self-harming conditions, then we're not properly taking care of ourselves. They might be normal in today's spiritually disconnected and ego-based society, but they're far from natural and balanced state of a human mind and spirit. There is no one that can overcome these dysfunctions for us but ourselves. We really have that much power as humans. But when we do notice these functions, whether it being in our children or grandchildren, it is our responsibility as the parent or the grandparent or the legal guardian to seek help. Don't let it become a Columbine shooting or an Amagwa Community College shooting or all the other school shootings or theater shootings. Don't let it become. See the signs, say something, do something. This particular individual showed signs for years, yet no one noticed. I find that very hard to believe, folks. Is it we as a society that notices but just doesn't care because it doesn't affect us? But this particular individual, this murderer, this obviously religion hater or Christian hater showed signs, and the people closest to him should have seen that. As I said in the beginning of this video, today is a commercial-free day. There is no commercials. It is too serious. The world around us has become such that we all have to live in fear. We can't even go to movie theaters, go to school, go to malls without the fear of people like this killer yesterday being out there judging you for your religion. Another killer judging you maybe for your color. Society as such is falling apart, and we need to stop what we are doing at home. We need to go back to the old days, the 60s and the 70s, how we raised our children. The government, politics need to stay out of how we raise our children. I would never ever condone punishing a child physically, other than your 60s, 70s, or even early 80s, possibly spanking. But today, we punish by grounding our children, sending them into their bedroom, where they have cable, internet, iPhone, iPad, and that's their punishment. We need to pay attention to our children. Now, today, we need to show love, compassion, respect to our children. We need to eliminate the drugs and alcohol in our own house, the over-the-counter medications in our house, the prescribed medications in our house that is not being used. We need to eliminate all that, get it out. And we need to go back to the values of the 60s and 70s that I grew up in, of families sitting together at dinner and talking, of quality time, movie time. Those are the values we need to go back to. Folks, I hope that either some of you or all of you got something out of this today, out of this video, because I purposely wanted to make sure that we spoke about this. I wanted to make sure that you know the 8 signs of emotional dysfunction which disturb the inner peace, whether it's in yourselves, your neighbors, your loved ones, or even your children. Let today be the first day that we start changing how we bring up our children, that we start changing how we act at home. Let's go back to the old days of family unity, family get-together, family time. I hope and pray that wherever you are, you have inner peace. And if you don't, and if you show one of these 8 signs of disturbed inner peace, seek help immediately. Go to someone that you can trust that can help you. Don't become a ticking time bomb. Folks, I hope each and every one in my audience has the best day of their life. I hope each and every one in my audience has a safe day in their life. But I hope and pray that each and every one in my audience starts going back to putting family first, spending family time, loving children, grandchildren, and may God bless each and every one in my audience, everywhere. God bless you.
Yeah, change your future, starts today. Live life to the fullest, never skip a day. Create hope, spread positivity. Beat your addictions and negativity. Ralf Friedrichs is here for you. Call today so we can help you. 1-844-405-HELP. 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 We are here for you. Call us today.
The splendor of the King, clothed in majesty, let all the earth rejoice, let all the earth rejoice. He wraps himself in light, and darkness tries to hide. beginning and the end, beginning and the end. The Godhead three in one. Father, Spirit, Son, the Lion and the Lamb, the Lion, the Lamb. How great are you, God? Sing with me. How great are you, God? And all will see how great are you, God? How great are you, God? Sing with me. How great are you, God? And all will see how great are you, God? You are the name above all names, Jesus. You are worthy of all praise, and my heart will sing how great are you, God. You are the name above all names, and you are worthy of all praise, and my heart will sing how great are you, God. How great are you, God? Sing with me. How great are you, God?
Yeah, change your future, starts today. Live life to the fullest, never skip a day. Create hope, spread positivity. Beat your addictions and negativity. Ralf Friedrichs is here for you. Call today so we can help you. 1-844-405-HELP. 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 We are here for you. Call us today. Yeah, change your future, starts today. Live life to the fullest, never skip a day. Create hope, spread positivity. Beat your addictions and negativity. Ralf Friedrichs is here for you. Call today so we can help you. 1-844-405-HELP. 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 We are here for you. Call us today.